Today, we're talking all about comms. Hello warriors, my name is Fernando. I am God's Prepared Warrior, and I want to thank you for watching this video today. Today is all about comms. So not too long ago, I did a video on my on God's Prepared Warrior Frankenstein comms pack, and so I've got that with me today. I want to kind of break that apart today. I know I did that in the other video, but today I want to talk about a few things. I'm going to scatter it out here and set it up on the table, and then I actually want to go over with you a comms plan that I have that maybe you can adopt on your own, and give you an idea of how you can adopt a comms plan for you and your family. Okay, so that's what this video is all about. So let's check this out. All right, this is the God's Prepared Warrior Frankenstein comms bag, and I say it's a Frankenstein bag because it's 3 bags in one. Okay, I'm gonna show you this outwardly. I'm gonna rotate it so you can check it out. Don't mind the stuff in the background. That's all the wood I've been collecting for my chicken coop I'm gonna build, so don't worry about that. So this is the comms bag. I'm gonna point out a few things as we look at it and we turn it around. So this is the front of the bag, and on the front you will see, because when you wear this is the thing that will be portrayed outward. So if I'm wearing this on my person, I have access to my GMRS radio, which is connected here, and then I have access to a flashlight in case I need a flashlight. I have that there, and so that's the front face of this. On the side here, I have this is my GMRS base station in this one bag. So this is one bag, and I think this is really kind of like a dump pouch, but I will put all the stuff in the description so you guys can check it out if you want to get one. This is just a really small MOLLE bag that has 3 compartments. Has your main compartment, a small front compartment, and another small front compartment right here. On the back, I have the 3rd bag, which is right here, which is really a cell phone case, and I have it MOLLE'd to the back of this dump pouch, and this holds my Meshtastic device and a cell phone. So in the event, well, we'll talk about that in a minute, but that's what is here. Have a roll of tape, electrical tape. You just never know. That's actually a good prep to have on you, because you just never know when you're going to need that. This is an extra antenna for either my GMRS radio or my ham radio that is here in the middle, that I will show you in a little bit. This long, I don't know if you can see, let me rotate the camera around here. This long antenna here, which is actually folded 3 times, is a very long. I call it the older brother to this one. But it's also, that antenna is for my base station radio, GMRS radio, which is in the smaller bag right here. So, and then turning it back around, that's my GMRS radio, and so this is the Frankenstein bag. All right, so what I want to do is I want to take apart this piece by piece and then set it up so that way we move the bags out of the way and then when we talk about the comms plan that I have, you'll be able to understand why I have all of these things. All right, so starting with my GMRS radio, this is a Baofeng GM15 Pro, and if you don't know by now, I love the color green. So I ended up going with the green, but I added a microphone to it, and you guys haven't seen this yet, but I have actually also added an extra antenna that goes from the radio itself down, so it's kind of like a counterpoise, and so it is actually connected to the screw that connects the belt clip to the radio, because that is connected to the frame of the radio, so that when this is on and I'm searching for the repeater, I am really able to hit it, not only because I have the BRI 771 GMRS antenna that is really long, but it also gives me an extra added opportunity to reach the repeater, because now I have a ground, like a counterpoise, I guess you can say. So I have talked on the repeater in our last net meeting, and everyone was telling me that they could hear me really well with just this little radio. So that's the GMRS GM15 Pro from Baofeng. Next thing is the flashlight on the outward pocket. This is the Olight Seeker 3. This is a great little flashlight. I love this flashlight, and this can also be used as a weapon if needed. It does have some rigid pieces here in the front, so this little light is a really good light. You should actually get you a Olight. I'm not endorsed by the company, but if Olight would love to endorse me, that would be awesome. All right, coming around, we're gonna go ahead and pull out this radio. This is as my other radio goes off. I need to lower that. Okay, so this is my Redavis RA25 radio. This is the handheld that goes with that. And this radio is really small, and it fits in the palm of my hand, and that's what this radio looks like, really small. And I've added a few things to that since you guys have probably last seen it. All right, so here is the Redavis RA25. This is a 20 watt radio, GMRS radio, and that is that long antenna that was folded up in my Frankenstein bag there. As you can see, it's a 42-inch antenna, GMRS antenna, and so it connects to the back here of the radio, and I've actually added a 90-degree UHF connector there to a SMA connection for that antenna. So that is the Redavis RA25 GMRS radio, and that's what that looks like there. And it is connected to my AIM-TOM rechargeable power station, which is really neat. I did a video review on that not too long ago. If you want to check that out, you can see that. I think as of today, that is still on back order, or the company has run out. I'm not really sure, but my wife bought me that for Christmas, and so I use that a lot. I take it with me camping, and it is a really awesome power station that I'm able to use when I go camping 3 days. So it lasts a long time, and it works really well. And so we'll turn that on, and we are now fully functional. We are hitting the repeater. This is Whiskey Sierra Delta Uniform 488 requesting a radio check, over. So we're able to hit that repeater there, and you can tell by the tagline that comes at
WRVV 563, you're not in clear for radio check.
10-4, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm doing a YouTube video on this radio that I have, and so just wanted to do a check. Thank you so much. So
WRVV 563, clear, please, standing by.
all right, so there you go. That is a radio that is in working order. Let's look at the rest of the bag. Okay, so now we're gonna go to the middle section here, and I'm gonna show you a few things here. Here I have a, this is a Cobra FRS walkie-talkie, and I would encourage all of you guys to have a couple of these, because if you have family members that come and join your family, let's say if there's ever an event and you have extra family members and y'all have to escape in an emergency or whatever, you're able to give this to them, and your GMRS radio, your ham radio, actually can connect to these radios. So this is a really good radio to have, not necessarily because of the brand, but I mean it's a walkie-talkie. So I have a couple of those here in my bag. Here's the other Cobra radio. That one's a little bit different, but they're the same brand. I also have my ham radio in here. I am not ham radio licensed as of yet, but I'm studying for my test. And currently this radio, I use it for connecting to local fire and EMS and police frequencies, and I'm able to listen in to them, and which kind of gives me a head up. So we'll talk about that here in a little bit. So I have that in there. The other thing I have is my shortwave radio. I did a video on this radio too, so if you guys want to look that up in my video tab, you guys can definitely see that there. But this is the Raddy RF 750 radio, shortwave radio, and this is good to have for emergencies. Even if you didn't have any of this stuff, you can still listen, and if there's any kind of emergencies and stuff, you can actually connect from here. So check out the video on all that this thing does. You guys can check that out. This here is just a stand for like a laptop, or actually it's going to be for my phone with the next radio that I'm about to show you. All right, so as I flip this around, we can get to this other radio back here, and in the cell phone case. Now my cell phone's not in there because I'm recording this video, so but it goes in there. But this is my Meshtastic device that was given to me from one of my friends from the GMRS group here in my local area, and so I am able to connect my cell phone to this device, and I'm able to send text messages out to the people who have a device like this or similar to it. And even if we did not have cell phone coverage, let's say comms went down and we didn't have access to cell phones, my cell phone still connects to this Bluetooth, and whoever has one of these little radios can actually connect to one another, and we can actually send text messages even without the cell phone connected to a network. So the cell phone connects to this via Bluetooth. This information goes out via this radio, and whoever is in the vicinity, I can connect to their node and send them a text message. So this is a really handy device when poop hits the fan. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna just set everything up here so you can all see it, and then we're gonna talk about comms plan. All right, so this is everything set up here on the table, and I set it up in a particular way so that as I go through this comm plan, you guys can understand what I'm doing here. So one of my coworkers the other day told me, Fernando, why do you carry all of this radio equipment with you? And I explained to him the comms plan that I have, because he is barely starting out as a prepper, and so I explained to him why I have all of this, and I wanted to share that with you guys so that you can understand. So I have created a PACE plan. So PACE, the word PACE, P-A-C-E, is an acronym for the comms plan that I've created. So when you hear me talk about PACE, you're going to hear me talk about the 4 letters in this word and what each letter means, and you're going to understand why these radios are set up in the way that they are, because there is a beginning and an end, and I want you to see that. Okay. All right, so starting over here on the very end, I'm going to move this here because that will actually move. So PACE, when you look at the word PACE and you look at it as an acronym, we're looking at the letters P-A-C-E, P meaning primary, A meaning alternate, C meaning contingency, and E meaning emergency. All right. Okay, here we go. So in the first one, primary, P, so what that means is that your primary device is what we are using today, right? So today, right here, I'm gonna put my Meshtastic device here because this is P, and along with this piece of equipment, it will also be my cell phone. But because I'm using my cell phone to record, this will be in its place, meaning 2. Okay, cell phone and this Meshtastic device radio. So this is the primary. Because we are in okay times, we're able to use cell phones, we're able to communicate in that way. Communications are up, they're not down, and so we are in a normal status. And so my primary part of my comms plan, the primary of the PACE plan, is I use my cell phone and also my Meshtastic device. Okay. So in a time that we're in today, as of March, we're the end of March 2025, my cell phone and my Meshtastic device are what I use primarily in my plan. Okay. Now, if there's an event and comms goes down, the A of the PACE plan means or stands for alternate, right? So in case the cell phone goes down, I can now move to my GMRS handheld radio, and also my base station radio, right? That's right there, the Retivis or Retivis RA25. So these two can be used together, because this one I can reach maybe 5 to 6, 7 miles maybe. I haven't really tested it with my pigtail here yet, but if I wanted to reach longer, I could use the Retivis base station, GMRS base station, along with this. So if my communication goes out, I'm able to use my GMRS radio and my base station, and I can also use my Meshtastic device along with my GMRS radio. Why? Because I don't need to be on the network. Remember, I told you guys that. All that's going to start falling. Oh well. So this is going to be the alternate part, my GMRS handheld along with the GMRS base station, and my Meshtastic device and my cell phone, right? So let's say we get further in poop hits the fan. The next thing for the contingency is going to be my ham radio that doesn't want to stay standing up, so, which is my ham radio, because with my ham radio I'm actually able to get on ham stations in an emergency, and I am able to get help or listen for help on my ham radio. And that goes a little bit further than GMRS does. So I am going to be upgrading to a base station ham radio soon, so I will let you know when I have that. But for now, in that spot is going to be my Baofeng UV5R, and guess what? Guess what else? My Meshtastic device moves along the PACE plan, because I'm still able to utilize it even though my cell phone is not connected to a network. So in my area, I will still be able to communicate via GMRS, Meshtastic, and if I needed to get a further reach, I would utilize my ham radio. Now, I need to say this because there's going to be a lot of people like, you can't use your ham radio if you're not licensed. That is true in a time of peace, right? But in an emergency, in a poop hits the fan scenario, all of that is tossed alongside, because emergencies are important and we're able to utilize that. But for now, in the times that we are, I use it to listen. And I would also, there he goes. I would also include these walkie-talkies along the path, because you're still able to connect with them with your GMRS radio, also along with your ham radio. So let's say in the event that I have zero communication, none of these things are available to me, and poop hits the fan, can I still be able to have some kind of communication in an emergency? And the answer to that is yes, because even if you don't have any of these radios, right, you can always rely on a shortwave radio. And I will tell you, because people will say, oh, that's just a little radio. Yes, it is a little radio. And also, this little radio can also pick up other ham stations. And you might say, well, Fernando, that's just got a little bitty pull antenna on it. And I will say, yes, it does, because you can obviously see that right there. But this little radio comes with a dipole. And so you connect this to the antenna as you raise that up, and you connect this, you're able to get an extended reach with this antenna connected to this radio. So you're able to actually listen not only to radio stations, but you can also listen to radio frequencies with this little radio. So even if you didn't have any of these kinds of radios, you would still be able to listen to communication that is happening in an emergency, and that is part of the E for the PACE plan, which stands for emergency. So in an emergency situation, if you didn't have none of this equipment, you could still listen and get information if you only had a radio, a shortwave radio. So these are great things to have in your plan, because as a last minute effort, you can still listen to communication, because it would come out here. So that is an important piece to keep in your equipment. You might ask me, Fernando, why this plan? Well, let me tell you why. Everyday preparedness. This is important for everyday preparedness, okay? Using a cell phone while it's available keeps things really simple, right? When you look at your PACE plan, it's the most simplest thing. You're able to use your cell phone. You're able to use a Meshtastic device if you have one. Even if you don't, you have a cell phone, right? You're able to text, you're able to call, you're able to utilize other apps to also send out information. So you have that available in a grid down position. It gives you resilience, right? GMRS and ham radio keep communication open to even in extended outages. You're able to communicate via radio. So that's another good thing why it's important to have this in your plan. The other thing is because it's also silent and secure when you utilize your Mesh-tastic device. You're not talking over the radio, you're text messaging. So that also gives you that piece to be silent and secure, because Mesh-tastic devices offer encrypted text messaging. So that's important too. With all the stuff that's happening, right, with Signal right now and all that good stuff, if you have something like this, you're able to send those encrypted text based messaging to your family members and those that are close in your network as far as your nodes for that radio. The other reason for this plan is for gathering intel, because you'll gather that through the shortwave radio. Communication will happen when poop hits the fan. You will have people giving out information, what's happening in their area, and so that's important to have too. So that is why I choose this plan. Okay guys, I hope that this video kind of helps you, kind of gives you an idea of what my COMMS plan looks like, why I'm doing that with my COMMS plan. So my next move is to get my family on board with the COMMS plan and get them practicing, right? You might say, well, Fernando, if we get all those radios and, you know, we're in good times, why have them? And I will always say, well, you know, it's because you got to practice with them. Because I will tell you, when poop hits the fan, there's going to be no time to look for instruction books. You need to be well aware of how to utilize the equipment that you have to be able to use it in an emergency and do it on the fly. So I would encourage you to learn the ins and the outs of all of the equipment that you buy. Don't just buy it and store it. Use it, because I will always tell you also that you need to practice your preps, right? You need to take your preps that you've bought, you know, all the stuff you've been prepping, right? Your foods, your shelf stable food, take that down, eat it, right? You're not just putting it there to save for the future. I mean, you are, but you gotta rotate through that stuff, right? So as you eat or you consume, you replace, right? So it's just not, oh, I'm gonna hoard it. You actually need to have a running process. So when it comes to food, so do that. Do the same with water, right? You should not just collect rainwater, but you should collect it and make sure it's stable for you to drink if poop hits the fan, right? So, you know, utilize all of those things. Learn your equipment, you know, even if you don't have a computer, right? Because you can program your radios, and you can use your laptop to do that, and it's so easy, super easy. But let's say you don't have a laptop, all of a sudden that poop hits the fan. Do you know how to program it from the radio, right? So that's something else you got to learn too, that I would encourage you to learn. It's not really hard. Practice makes it better, okay? The more you practice, the better you are at that thing, right? It's like driving. You just didn't wake up one day and all of a sudden at the age of 17 or 18 and say, oh, I can drive. No, you had to learn, right? You had to go to class. If, you know, some of us went to class. I was actually a class in school. So, you know, we did that, and we had to take our time behind the wheel. And so it's the same thing with all of this equipment. So when you look at all of these radios and you ask, like my coworker asked, why do you have all those radios? It's because you should have a backup for the backup, right? Two is one, and one is none, right? That's the old adage. And so it's important to have a backup for that backup, right? You just never know, and one might break down. You're going to need a replacement. In poop hits the fan scenario, I'm pretty sure production will stop on a lot of things. Shipping will stop on a lot of things. So we're going to end up having only the things that we have on hand. And so, you know, if you need several radios because you want to create a backup, then do that, right? It's like this. Let me show you this. So I have the AIM-TOM power station there, and it allows me, I'll just give you a quick show real quick. It allows me to connect like up my laptop, and then if I want to charge my phones, my cameras, and then it gives me some DC inputs here. For example, for my Retivis radio, I'm knocking everything down. For my radio, so that it connects to that. So that way it's a mobile piece, right? So that's my primary. But do I have a backup for that power station to power stuff? I do. This is my other backup to that. So I bought this on the TikTok shop, and with this solar powered charger, I'm able to charge 3 devices, and it has a flashlight, and it has a solar panel on the front. And as you can see in the low light level that I'm in right now, it is actually collecting juice. So this is important to have. It's my backup, and actually this is in my get home bag all the time. And so this weekend I added it to the Frankenstein bag because, you know, we were in and out with my wife and her operation and the doctor visits and all that kind of stuff. So I took it with me. That's why it's not in my get home bag. So it was with me on my person. So always have a backup, guys. It's so important to have a backup to all of your equipment, just so that you can make sure if one goes down, you're not empty-handed for the next, okay? All right, guys, I hope this video was informational for you. I am going to put the PDF link to my comms plan so that you guys can see it just in the order that it is. It's not going to give you any kind of personal information or anything like that. It's just going to be a bulleted point. And so what I want you to do is to take that PDF, make it your own, make your own comms plan for you and your family, and that way you guys can practice the primary, you can practice the alternate, you can practice the contingency, and you can also practice the emergency. So that way, whenever things happen, you and your family are able to move through that PACE plan appropriately and without fear, and being able to maneuver through those tough times when they come. Also, guys, remember that whenever tough times come, we also have the Lord on our side, and he is the one that is going to get us through anything. So, you know, even if we go through the valley, he goes through the valley with us. And so don't forget that even if we go through the valley, there are many opportunities for us to learn and grow through that valley, and God's going to be with us all the way through that. So he is the one who guides our steps, right? That's Proverbs chapter 3 verse 6, right? He will guide our steps. So trust him, trust the Lord. So no matter what happens, whether that's, you know, a weather event like we've been having here recently a lot in the United States, even around the world, right? Here recently, the earthquake that happened overseas, and then the earthquake that happened today in Georgia. So guys, there's just a lot of things happening, and a lot of things can take us out. A lot of things can put us back, and we should be ready for all of those times, right? You know, get together with your family, talk about what's happening weather-wise in your area. It's so important. We just went through a lot of rain here in Texas, and right now in the Rio Grande Valley in Texas, they were flooded out. I have a friend who lives in the Rio Grande, and we called to check on her, and she shared with us that she could not even get out of her house because of all the water. And my wife immediately, when she heard that, she says, "Babe, I wonder if she was prepared," because she's listening to me, right? And you know, you just never know. It could, oh, it's just a thunderstorm coming, and it just might flood you to where you cannot even get out of your driveway. Her driveway was full of water. She sent us pictures, and the whole street was full of water. Nobody was moving, so she had to literally stay in place at home. And so, you know, our hope for her was that she was okay and she had everything she needed, so that she could survive those couple of days waiting for the water to recede, right? So a lot of people don't think about those things. And so guys, pay attention to the weather, pay attention to what's coming ahead. Make sure that you have all of your preps ready. You should make sure that you have plenty of food in the event that it rains so much that you are sheltered in now because there's too much water outside and you can't get around town. If it's a tornado that's coming, right, you should be able to get to a different place, unless your house has a basement in it or some kind of shelter on the outside. It's important for you to practice what to do in the event that those things happen. And I tell you that only because if they happen, you will know what to do. You won't freak out because you've practiced this before. Now it's live, right? But you've practiced it before. There is muscle memory in that, and you're able to maneuver through those processes. So guys, take all of your preps. I show you this video because we have a communication plan. We know how to contact one another if the cell phones go down. We have a way to contact one another, even if we need to be quiet. And even if we didn't have any of these things, we're still able to listen to communication coming in. So make sure, guys, that you are putting together a comms plan, you're putting together a food plan, you're putting together a water plan, right? Because you need food and water. You're putting together a bug out plan if you have to bug out. And even if you're going to bug in, put a plan together, what you're going to do for whatever that is, right? Just make sure you are working at protecting your family and helping them through the tough times ahead that are coming. So guys, thank you for watching this video. I am so excited that you guys are responding and commenting in my videos. They encourage me so much, and I'm so thankful for all of you, because this channel is growing not because of me, it's because of you guys. And so I'm just so excited that you guys are actually commenting and sending me likes, and you're encouraging me to continue on. And I'm gonna always continue to pray for all of you, that you guys are prepared and ready for whatever is coming at us. And we know that we don't have to fear, because God doesn't even give us that spirit, right? 2 Timothy chapter 1 verse 7, God doesn't give us the spirit of fear, but of love, power, and a sound mind. So even in that kind of an event, we don't have to fear. God is with us. So guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for stopping by the channel. Have a great Sunday, and I hope to see you this week. All week long, I'm going to be putting up videos. You don't believe me? I know you don't, but I am. So look forward to seeing you in those videos. And tomorrow we go live. We do our roundtable live at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, right here on YouTube. And hope to see you guys there. Have a great day. I'm Fernando, God's Prepared Warrior, and I look forward to seeing you this week in the rest of the videos. Have a blessed Sunday. Hey guys, this is Fernando, God's Prepared Warrior. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel.